It is a new year, new mindset, and new video series. Here is the first video of mine of 2019, my 9 declarations for 2019. Hey guys, happy 2019. It is Darienne here. I know it's been a while since my last video, but I have a new video series coming your way, so I'm super excited about that. A lot's been going on. What's been going on with you? It's been crazy, so to say the least. So you will get to know that in the coming weeks. But mark your calendars for every Wednesday, because from now on I will be posting a new video every Wednesday. Yes, get excited. And I'm also trickling out my old Freedom Friday videos. So if you are new here, I used to do a Freedom Friday series, or it was called Freedom Friday. It was a series I did every single week where I gave spiritual advice. I since have become a witch and gone through a lot of hell in 2018, although I've been through a lot of hell in my life in general, but been through a lot of hell this past year, and a lot of my life has shifted. Now, people have asked me, is my faith the same? Do I still believe in God? Yes, I still believe in God. I am a solitary witch, and I am what I call a baby witch, so I'm just kind of learning. But I'm going to start doing videos about witchcraft and about my very personal journey, because I've been a spiritual coach in like the mystic side of things, like a student of A Course in Miracles, very light worker kind of vibe, for a very long time. And so I'm coming from that realm of really having a deep understanding of that aspect of it, which I would even consider to be like the light aspect of spirituality. And I think for me, what I was really struggling with was accepting humanity. Like, how do you take the human side of who you are and the spiritual side of who you are and integrate those and live life like that, balanced and loving both sides of that part of you, those parts of you. And so I think for me personally, it's been witchcraft that has helped me get to that. So every Wednesday I'm going to be doing a video. Not every Wednesday I'm going to be doing a video about witchcraft. I'm not really sure, but I'm thinking about calling the ones about witchcraft Witch Baby Wednesdays. So the other thing is, I got like dressed and I realized that I'm coming on here looking super witchy, and I'm like, am I going to make people think that I'm like crazy now? I do want to say that I normally do dress like this, and I have for many years. Like, I've owned this hat for many years and a lot of this jewelry. This is my own Rock and Empath t-shirt. If you want to buy one, you can click, there should be available to click down below this video, but I do dress like this. But I don't know why. This is the first video of 2019. I wanted to get a little fancy, and then I got on and I was like, oh my God, I look super witchy. And so I just want you to know, it's not because I like became a witch and now I'm like, I gotta take on the fashion. I've always dressed like this. For some reason, I just don't always dress like this on Freedom Friday, because usually I'm just like whipping things together and I don't do the jewelry, and I just like throw things on and hop on the video. So let's get into today's video. It is 2019. I am super excited about that. I don't know about you. I was so happy to say goodbye to 2018. Again, I don't know about you. I was going to do like an FU 2018 video, but let's just keep things positive for right now. I still feel the remnants of 2018, like regurgitating out of me. I am a Gemini, so we're being hit by like relationships. This is like our year of relationships. I mean, like, we're like, what, a week into the year right now? Maybe a little bit more. And I am already working on the probably top 5 most major relationships in my life. It's a little bit crazy. So I'm going to go down my list of my 9 declarations for 2019. These came through me very quickly, very intuitively. So it's actually something that I feel Spirit told me, that my source within me told me that these will be your declarations. And I think this whole month I'm going to be really sitting with these, really feeling, getting into the solid intention about them. So I want to share them with you. I would love if you guys could share your 9 declarations for 2019, or if you have, you know, whatever. If you guys do resolutions or themes or a word for the year, I will say overall, my sort of theme or word for this year is trust. I never do a word for the year. I always do resolutions, but this year I just felt like I needed a whole theme. And for me, it's really about trusting that everything's going to be okay and that I am constantly right here, right now, always being taken care of. I don't know why I'm getting a little bit emotional right now. You know, 2018 was a rough year for me, and it made me question a lot, and it made me kind of lose my trust, if I'm being completely honest. And so this year, I understand that the energy that you come with, that you approach everything with, is the energy that all of those things bring back to you and sort of reflect back to you. So I understand that. You guys know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been studying the law of attraction I did the calculations. It's been 12 years now that 12 years ago, I read The Secret, and I've been studying the law of attraction ever since and applying it to my life and all of that. So I definitely have of course, understanding of that. But I also think that, just side note, these like witch videos are going to be super cool for you guys that maybe are witch babies yourselves, or maybe witch curious, or even if you have absolutely no interest in being a witch or studying or doing spells or any of that. I do think that there is a lot to learn from it, and you could actually apply it to your own spiritual practices and take whatever you want and, you know, leave the rest. But I really think it's cool, me knowing about the law of attraction, having a really deep understanding of that and bringing that into any kind of spell work that I could possibly do, and also any of my philosophies. So that will be interesting. Okay, so let's get on to number 1. These are in no particular order, but I have them written down and I will just go down through them. So my very first declaration of 2019 is, I will not play by anyone else's rules. For me, 2018 was the year of me. And you would think that that would be a really great year, but it wasn't. It was very difficult for me to make decisions for myself. It was very difficult for me to say no to a lot of things. I mean, you guys, I've had to say no to some things that are still difficult for me to talk about and to express, like real life transformative shit, like real deep, real heavy shit I can't even talk about right now because I might cry. So it was difficult for me, but what I realized throughout this whole year, and I'm excited to bring that knowledge now into 2019, is that I don't have to play by anyone else's rules, but also that I was kind of doing that in a sense. And it was really a shedding of old skin for me. And so that really is, and I know with the law of attraction, you don't want to say no to things, but it feels good for me to say I will not play by anyone else's rules this year. So yeah, if you feel connected to that, like this video. I don't really care if you like this video. Okay, on to number 2. I will follow the art of my heart. That kind of goes along with not playing by anyone else's rules, but for me, what's most important is, I am an artist. I am a singer-songwriter. I am also a writer. And if there's anything that I trust more on this planet, it is my art. And I know that my art will always lead me to the life of my dreams, to beautiful things, to God, to my even unaware desires. And so that's really important for me to remember for this year. It's been a long time since I've really come out with my music, and I really want to, but this time there's not worry about other people. This time it's about the relationship between me and my art, and how that really truly is who I am. On to number 3. I will bravely be me. That's not really an easy thing to say. I think for me, it's been difficult to, I think I thought I was supposed to be something. And I talked about this in my witch video, my I'm a Witch Now video. When I really always check myself, am I being authentic? Am I really being me? There's usually some release of this weird conformity that I have to do. Like when I check myself, I'm like, okay, am I being really authentic right now? Sometimes it's not easy to be super authentic when you're on a stage or when you're on camera like this, because you're on camera. You know what I mean? Like when you're on a stage, you're not just gonna be like, hey, what's up? You're going to be on, you're going to be a lot more entertaining, but I always need to check in and make sure, like, is this joyful? Is this joy for me, or is this joy for other people? Like, am I trying too hard? Am I trying to give too much to you? Am I giving you too much energy, or am I just sort of in that my cup runneth over space? So, I think that this goes deep, and this whole being bravely me really just runs across the whole scope, and not just me as a performer and an entertainer, which is what I am. Even though I am a spiritual coach, I'm also an entertainer, obviously, and I'm a Gemini, so, I'm just naturally like that. But sometimes, there's a thin line between what is the authentic, just excited, rah, in your face me, and what is me trying, like giving. It's not that I'm trying hard, it's that I'm really just giving more of my energy. I'm trying to uplift people more, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I kind of abandon myself a little bit, when I do that. All right, next one. Number 4, I will write my own story. So one of the big things that has really been coming up for me at the end of 2018 was these old stories that I really was just ready to like burn. I was like, I am really ready. There is nothing in my past that feels good to me and that really serves me anymore. I mean, I feel like I've already learned the lessons, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm just ready to burn it and start writing a new story. Now, even like since then, I have kind of realized that, I do have a lot more positive, not a lot more, but I do have some positive memories from my past that I could kind of take with me, but there's just something in me that says there is no point to bringing that with you. And so just start writing the new story. And for me, it's about really practicing being in the new story. What is the new story, and who is the new me? Like once I shed all that skin, who am I now? And I think who am I now is a question that we all can be asking at any given moment. Because even I was just watching, have you guys watched that Tidying Up on Netflix, the Marie Kondo? So I read her book. We're just side note, okay guys? Just comment down below. if you're like obsessed with it. So I watched the whole thing, of course, binged like you did, you know you did. And she's like this little fairy who's just so filled with joy. She's way too excited about messes. I thought the same thing when I read the book. I was like, this chick loves this way too much. But great for her. But it kind of made me think, like, as I started to go through my clothes, and I realized that, like, as I started to let go of these clothes, I had to ask myself, like, there was a time when I loved these clothes. Like, you know, I used to be a full-time musician. Full-time, but I used to only be a musician, we'll say that. So I used to only do music, and, you know, I've been on tour and done lots of shows and things like that. It was amazing. And so I dressed like for the stage all the time. Like, I guess like kind of like I'm dressed now, but I dress for the stage all the time. And so I have old clothes, and it's just interesting for me to say, even if I loved this last month, does who I am now love this? And it was an interesting like kind of thing. I started to realize I'm not who I was 5 minutes ago, you know? So that kind of goes into number 3 as well, but let's move on. Number 5, I will love my messiness. So I think that this more so goes along with the concept, like, I will love my own humanity. Because it's not just my physical messiness, which I'm getting together right now, because I did do a spell on my house, which is working in a really crazy way, but it is. It's not just my physical messiness, but like my anger, that I'll love that the part of me that's like confused and doesn't know things, and just the human side of me. Like, some people might call it the ego. I don't know. I don't know. There's some part of me that just wants to completely love all of me, even like what some might consider the ego. There's a part of me that's like, does the ego really exist? I don't know. I think that, like, I don't know. I'm just in this space where I'm like, can I just look at myself as a whole being? As a whole being, and like wholly and completely love that messiness, and that there's something for her to teach me, and there's something really beautiful, and like, to be an artist, you have to be messy. You have to, you know, there's a beauty in that messiness and that chaos. And so that's my declaration for this year, because I think last year, not even last year, I think last year was like the aftermath of it, but the last few years it's been, you know, in this world of like coming into spirituality, I really became like a spiritual perfectionist. Whoa, that's a new word, you know? Maybe it's not new, but it is to me. I really became like a spiritual perfectionist, where I was like, oh, I have to be like high vibe all the time and love and light and da 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 da. And I'm like, you know, I was just starting to connect with Lady Lilith the other day, because I felt like her power, and I feel that power in me, that there is a Lilith in me. There's a dark, what is it, the black moon Lilith? We all have that side of us that a lot of times in like the new age spirituality, we're kind of taught to deny that. And to say like, oh, that's not truly us. But I think it's our opinion about it is not truly us. Our negative opinion about the dark side of us, that's not truly us. But when we learn to see our own darkness from the eyes of the light, then we can integrate with it and love it. And so that's my declaration for the 2019, is to love my messiness. Okay, number 6. I'm just going to say this exactly how I wrote it. It might not make sense, but I will go for it for no one but myself. So I'm talking about going for my dreams, going for the thing that I want to go for. You know, I've always had big dreams of like being a singer and all these big things. And I think a lot of my big dreams also were for, you know, what people think it's supposed to be. And I really dreamed for I think other people, if that makes sense. And so for me, it's like, yeah, the whole world, I mean, for years and years and years, everyone that knows me and has heard my voice and knows how I sing and all that and heard my music, they've always like, they want me to go for it. They want me to go for it. And that's beautiful. And I appreciate that support, of course, but I can't go for anything unless I go for it for myself. So this year it is about that. And it is about really grounding myself in my dreams and going, what do I really want? And that also, all right, we're speaking a different accent here. That also correlates with following the art of my heart, you know? That like, where do I want to go with this? What is important to me? You know, I think I always wanted that, like, oh, I want to go on tour and I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, do I really want that? Like, what do I really want my music career to look like? I think I just like took the typical music career and I like tried to fit myself into that. And now I'm like, maybe I don't want that. Like, maybe I want it to be like this really cool grassrootsy thing, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I only know the first step ahead of me, you know, but it has to be for me. All right. Number 7, I will stay weird. I was reading comments on the video that I just let out, the reboot, the Freedom Friday reboot of me doing how to instantly manifest anything, right? Is that what it's called? How to instantly manifest anything you want, I think is what it's called. And I'm like, I guess I'm in a super weird mood. When I watched it back just recently, I was like, oh no, that's totally me. That's just me. Like, I'm super weird. And I think that there's still a little part of me that feels a little bit insecure about it. Like, I got many comments on that video about people asking if I was on drugs or like just came from happy hour. And I'm like, no, I don't do drugs, but thank you. And I was like, high on life, hashtag high on life. But that's one thing that I've always been and I always will be. And I think that's my declaration for that, is just to remind me to be my effing self. And that's another part of just loving me, you know? And like, people in the public eye, they just want to like whitewash themselves, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to make myself easier to watch for some people, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to make myself made for TV. Like, I don't want to do that. I just want to be my mother effing weird self, okay? And if people don't like it, people don't like it. Like, there's millions of other channels you could watch, guys. Jeez. Okay. My number 8 declaration, I will stay sexy. So for me, that means really continuing to stay tuned in and tapped into my own sexuality and sensuality. And simultaneously, like, staying weird, but also knowing that I'm like this powerful, beautiful, sexual being. That those are two very big facets of me and who I am and who I want to be and who my spirit is. And I don't ever want to lose either of those, you know? I want to be weird and sexy. Can I do that? But I think just tuning into that, tapping into that. This year I had some sort of traumatic experiences when it comes to my own sexuality. I was not abused or anything like that, so don't, that in my past, yes, but not this year, so, you know, no worries, but thanks for anyone's concern. But, you know, just some traumatic experiences for me and my womb space and me as a woman, really. And so me saying I will stay sexy is declaring that I will be myself no matter how scared I am sometimes to still express my sexuality. It's kind of an important thing for me. All right, and the last one, I will be the goddess that I am. That is to remind me that I am a goddess, that I am from God. I am the divine feminine embodiment. And no matter what I choose to be in this physical realm, that is my true connection to everything I am, to the infinity, eternity of myself and my truth and my ever-growing unfoldingness of who I am. So that, of course, is most important, but all of the previous 8 declarations are to enjoy the goddess that I am as a human being, you know? So that's like the core of everything, the number 9. It is the core of everything that I am spirit embodied. That I can never lose, because if I ever lose that, I completely lose myself. Of course, that's completely impossible to completely lose yourself, but there were many times, and even still, that I lost myself this year because I lost that, and I declare to never lose that, and just to always know that. So I will be writing these down somewhere very pretty, and probably placing them either in one of my many, many journals, maybe my grimoire. I'm not really sure. It doesn't really seem like a place for a grimoire, for my grimoire, but, and I probably, maybe on my altar, and I probably could do a really beautiful spell to solidify this. But those are my 9 declarations for 2019. I would love to know yours if you have any for just your, you know, as I said, if you have resolutions for the year, or if you have a word or a theme of the year, whatever it is, I would really love to know. And if you share any of the same declarations or really connected with mine, give this a thumbs up, share the video so that everybody knows. Every Wednesday, I will now be doing new videos. She's back, baby. She's back. And I'm going to be rebooting the Freedom Friday videos. Every Friday, I'm going to be trickling them out. So if you want to know which videos, or if you want to tell me which videos to post, let me know what your favorite ones were, and I will post them. But I'm very excited for this year and for this series, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye-bye.